Hair thing. Ay, kaya kami ba kayong panyo dyan para dinapawisan na ako eh.
Tissue.
Pero pag ang English ng ano, dinapawisan, sweatingation. So
pati tissue papa ko.
That's in the family.
Yeah, it's in the blood.
It's in the blood.
Tama, yeah, it runs in the blood. Then, ang ano namin talaga, we're both in the army. Nagkapatid ko. It's in the clan. It's in the genes, per se, na sa military kami. Si Kuya Romeo, kita yung picture niya, seryoso. Ako rin. Sa army rin, sabi lang ng sundalo ko, hindi na ako nang humingiti. Pero nung drama nilang ano, na palabiro pala ako. Sabi, Sir Lopez, we didn't know you're a comedian. Sinabi lang sa akin, oh yes, I am. Para, yun nga, sa mukha lang, ano, medyo stricto, pero ang puso namin na talagang mamon daw. Malambot ang ano puso namin, magkakapatid. Kaya sa pagkataon ito, ano, ayaw ko sana umiyak eh. Nahihiya ako. Pero this year, we lost a sister and a brother within a year. Hindi ko ano, wag muna. Wag muna, kaya ko na ito. Basta may shot sana eh. Pero ano, you got me. Nagpapasalamat ako. We all thank you very much for you guys coming here. Sa mga condolences ninyo. Kayo amin-amin dito eh. Including those individuals in fatigues there. Thank you guys. Hey Sart, guys, you guys listening? Thank you for service. All right. Hua. Again, thank you very much sa inyong lahat. Okay, that ends conversation. Thank you.
Alright, thank you, Uncle Pastor. And again, thank you for our sponsor, our major sponsor. I think Cesar, the other Cesar, not yet around.
Still hiding.
Still hiding. Okay, so I think it's my turn. It's my turn. Since I was, David clearly said, and usual clearly said, that she will be translating, I am excused from the English only policy, okay? So we have that on record, right? Okay.
No, not
So they say that when you're about to die, your entire life flashes in front of you for seconds. In my case, I was given 8 days for my father's life to replay through you all, through our guests in the past days. And if I were to summarize, let me start by the one, a clip from the interview of Heidi's son, Aidan. It went something like, what's your regret?
What's your biggest regret?
See, I have, this is a active, interactive sharing. What was that again, Heidi?
So my son, Aidan, asked my dad, if you were to go back to your life, what is that something that you want to change? Do you regret any in your life?
What was his answer? If any.
So you answer.
Okay. As I recall it, his answer was, he did not risk enough. And by that, when I asked my siblings, I think Manong and Heidi were there, they said that their interpretation is he did not risk enough so that, you know, because at the time I think he spent a number of years at PMA, and I think the tour of duty would only be around 3 years.
Yes, to be recommended for a career advancement.
For career advancement. And I think
Recommended.
what he meant by not taking risks is he was too comfortable with him being with his family. And taking risks would be pursuing what would lend him more opportunities for promotion. But looking back, again, this is an 8-day replay of his life, at least from my perspective. And let me summarize later on. So just bear with me. When we started, my week was full actually last week. So when Kathy called us, I said I have important commitments during the week. So I will go up Sunday morning as soon as my commitment for Saturday would be over. That was around 4 o'clock, 4:30. But then I decided to come up. And luckily for me, I was able to catch Papa's last moments. That's the first. My wife, who was with me, Tetchi, hunted even a priest to give the last sacrament, the anointing. And she was able to find one. And again, God willing, and we were blessed that he also arrived on time, not only to give the final blessing to Papa Romeo, but also to Mama Belle. We were also blessed with time, although it was too short, but it was long enough for my mother to go to Pines City Hospital and be able to talk to him. Although, and of course, part of it was because it's of course not allowed, right? Of course, thank you, Uncle George, for allowing us to drop her name and allow us to go to ICU. My mother is 82 years old, so I think you would understand why. The next thing is, from day one, all we heard were stories about Papa helping them. I was even surprised that Ate Wenda knew Papa even before we did, because Papa helped her have a job in PNA pala. So those small stories, we may be looking at you right now, but each of us has a story to tell on why you are close, or why Papa is that special to you. And perhaps all those sharers you've heard tonight is a witness to the kind of person that Papa is. And I would like to share my personal anecdote. So when I was in Ateneo, Arneo, sorry. I think I was in second year college then. Because we don't have any money for, to buy luxurious things, clothing. So we were given, I saw a second ID shirt of Papa. Okay, free second ID shirt. So I wore that to Arneo. So one of my classmates, a girl, I forget her name, she approached me. So I thought, she approached me because of, but he asked me, you're wearing a second ID shirt. Does your dad work there? So I said yes. So that ended. The next day, she no longer spoke to me. Because when I asked my father if he knows somebody that I forget her name as well. So for example, her name is X. Pa, do you know somebody like X?
X-mo? Alam ba ni Tetch?
Good thing that my wife is not here. But it's recorded, right? Tetch, love you. For example, her, palitan ko na nga. I'll change the name. Custodio. Pa, do you know somebody named Custodio in second ID? And he said, oh, he's Colonel Custodio. So I just connected what happened the past 2 days. The reason why she no longer followed up her greeting or question to me was, she realized that my father was the superior of her father. But mind you, she has a driver, she has her own car, and she was wearing flashy clothes. Me just wearing shorts and the second ID shirt. Okay, free at that. So let me summarize on those few points. Wow. Papa mentioned that if ever he had a regret, it may be him lacking that knack for taking risks, right? First, family. I would like to tell him right now, Nano, you took, you made the right bet on your family instead of your career. Because right now, you saw your children, Manong from Canada, if only he can fly, he would probably fly. Heidi, who right on the spot decided to come here to be with Papa. Uncle Cesar, everybody, myself included, I canceled my, what I consider at least to be an important engagement at the time, just to be with him, and that's fine. Second is faith. When the priest came there, right after that, because Mama, when she came there, she was angry. Why did you leave me? Right? Why did you leave me? You did not even warn me. But then when the priest came there and made his last sacrament, I just saw the priest and I told Kathy back then, that's the face that I remember when I was growing up. Very handsome. And by the way, they said, I look like my husband.
Good.
Okay?
Mama.
Who said that?
Okay, that's something that we will talk about later, okay? later there, okay? Those doors. Okay? But the point there is the faith. You might not see my father go to Mass and be kneeling, praying, not even praying the Rosary, but he does receive Holy Communion, he does pray. And I would just like to share that after his almost a month of hospitalization 2 years ago, where he nearly passed on, we thought of him having a Thanksgiving. So we invited a Jesuit priest there in Mirador Hill, Heights Hill, and arranged an overnight retreat of sorts. At first, he did not want to join, because he's macho. But later on, probably because we prayed over it, he relented. And he said he will just participate. But if you ask me, my prayer was if he could receive the sacrament of penance. Not for anything, I'm not being judgmental. Because he just went through that near-death experience. As he saw, those of you who know Dean Reyes, he shared that he saw Dean Reyes with his old brown Toyota car, with open door, inviting him over already. That's how close I think he was to death. So we were just thinking, and we just want him to be ready. He said no. Because macho general that he was, right? But during that retreat, we were happy that he did receive the sacrament of penance. But before he was able to do so, nag-brown out, no? Yeah. Nag-brown out, kumulog, etc. And I think that was, I'm not making this up, it really did, nag-brown out, kumulog, etc. Pero we were just happy that he did. Just the basics. I think everybody shared that about him as well. So wedding, yung death, etc. So the third point I want to share is integrity. So I think I won't be dwelling on this too much because I think everybody, there's no disagreement that he's a man of integrity, and sometimes to a fault. But then again, looking back, yun yung tama, and we are proud of that. Okay. And probably my last would be his generosity. Again, he gives without him telling. So we know about his generosity through the persons he touched. And he gives without expecting anything in return. So that's how I remember him, and that's how I think more than anybody would be being affectionate, I guess, because the way he lived his life, I think he touched my life more, and I will be remembering him by all the anecdotes that you've shared. And again, as I mentioned when we started this program, while it may be normal for us to talk about how he died, I would rather that we remember him by how he lived. And through the anecdotes that we've shared, I hope that's what, and that's how we will remember him by. So thank you very much, Sherwin, for having me, Papa. Okay? So thank you, Sherwin. So kasama ka sa So with that, before we'll call on Arnold, yung bunso namin, I want to have somebody naman from, wala pa si Cesar? Hindi si Cesar masiklad, ha? Unless gusto mo magsalita. Cesar Onosa, wala pa rin?
Nagtatago yung
Wala, nagtatago pa rin. Si Papa nang bahala sa'yo.
So, pag sa mga hindi ako nakikita sa
Kasi Antinena lang.
Kaya
Antinena? Antinena? Ayaw. Sino pa? Any volunteer to share? Awanin. Awan. Going. Alex? Gusto mo mag-share? O yan. Si Alex, mag-share. Everybody, Alex, we love you. Alcoholic.
Sure, may sinasabi si Ruth.
Ano?
Mas matangkad si Alex sa'yo.
Okay.
Lakasan mo, Alex, hindi na papakinggan.
Hello.
Hello,
I'm Alex. I'm the son of Katrina. So, first of all, babasahin ko lang muna yung letter ni Erin. Yung anak ni Tita Heights. Okay. So, dearest family, I know that this must be a very challenging time for you all. I feel your grief, fear, and helplessness. Even though it's scary, I know that you will get through this and come out stronger as a more deeply connected family. Although I can't be there to help, I want to offer my condolences, love, and support to you all. I'm thinking of you and praying for your strength, compassion for one another, and dedication during this hard time. I'm extremely proud to be a part of this family, and I hope to make you proud. I love you all so much. Take care of my mom. Okay, thank you. Okay, so last night, sinabi sa akin tinatanong ako ni Mami kung gusto ko daw ba magsalita ngayon. May part sa akin na gustong magsalita, and may part sa akin na ayoko kasi iyakin ako eh. So, alam ko na even before I start, even before I start talking about Papa, may iyak na ako. And, ayun. So, si James, nung nagkwento siya kanina, na-realize ko na sobrang swerte ni James kasi he was there. He was here in Baguio during the final moments of Papa. Ako kasi I work and live in Manila as well as yung kuya ko. So we couldn't be here always. So nung sinabi ni Mami na
You're okay, bud?
yeah, fine. Nung sinabi ni Mami last Tuesday na nasa ICU si Papa, I was already thinking na tinawagan ko si Mami. Tapos tinatanong ko kung si Papa. Sabi niya, yun nga, sabi ni Uncle George, kailangan pauwi na si Alvin at si Ivy. So, ang inisip ko lang, sige, uwi na ako. Pero, may trabaho kasi ako doon. So, hindi ako agad nakauwi. At hinihintay ko pa yung may message kasi ako sa boss ko if I can work from home for a week. Just so I could be with Papa. So, I left there around 10. Tapos, 10 a.m. Tapos, edi nandun ako sa bus. Pero, around 8 a.m., around 2 hours before my departure, nag-chat si Aaron na wala na si Papa. So, for me na college pa lang, hindi na nag-aaral sa Baguio, ang lagi kong feeling pag umuwi ng Baguio is masarap umuwi, masaya akong umuwi. Kasi may pagkain, nandun yung family ko. Pero I think that that Tuesday morning was the very first time na umuwi ako na hindi ako masaya. So, normally, when we go up here in Baguio from Manila, the very first thing in the morning, we would normally say, tara, punta tayo kila Papa. So, so, I do have a lot of regrets kasi hindi ako nakaka-akit masyado. Pag nakaka-akit ako, ilang araw lang. Ayun. So, hindi ko... Ayun. Gusto ko lang may mga stories, dalawang stories lang ako na gustong ikwento. Yung first is, meron recently na, siguro 1-2 years ago, si Papa, marami kasi siyang jacket. Marami siyang jacket, no? Nakalagay sa hanger, sa cabinet. Tapos nasabihan niya sila Aaron, si James na, sige kumuha na kayo ng mga jacket dyan, pero may certain hangers lang, certain choice lang of jackets. Certain choice lang of jackets that we could take. Ayun. Then, sige, kumuha si James, si Aaron. Then, after nung kumuha sila, parang nabanggit ni Papa na hindi pala yun yung pie na dapat kuhanan nila Aaron. Kasi yun yung mga gusto niyang jacket. Ayun. Ayun. And I was fortunate enough to have one of his jackets with me. And, ayun. So, yung, at least, last year I went abroad and it was the jacket that I had back then. So, ayun, I'm thankful na a part of him was with me then. And a part of him was with me. And another moment that I will always remember is dati, hindi naman kami madalas kumain sa mga restaurants, gano'n, sa mga fast food. Ang lagi namin kinakainan yung sa Chias. The Chias, yung sa may Gisag. Then, sa tawag dito, parang one day nag-post yung Shakey's. So, after a while, medyo madalas na kami pupunta doon. Tapos, meron siyang isang flavor ng pizza na laging gusto. Yung Angus Steakhouse. So, every time we would order from Shakey's, we would order that specific flavor for him. Tapos, lagi niya sasabihin, uy, ano flavor to? Ang sarap nito ah. So, everyone knew what his favorite flavor was, except him. Ayun. So, I have a lot of stories left to tell, but I guess, yun na yung for me na lang. Ayun, so, I always remember Papa for his jokes. Ayun, so, and sobrang understanding and patient ni Papa sa pagdating sa amin. Kasi, meron niya isang time nung nagsa-start pa lang kami mag-drive. So, laging nagda-drive, nagsastart mag-drive, tinuturuan niya kami mag-drive. Tapos, ang lagi niya sinasabi na, kunyari, ang automatic kasi, manual kasi tinuturo niya sa amin. So, ang lagi niya sinasabi sa amin, kunyari, tumigil, yung tumirig ka, huwag mong pakialaman yung nasa gilid mo. Mag-focus ka lang, hayaan mo silang mag-overtake sa'yo. Kumalma ka lang. Ayun. Tapos, meron isang time yung Innova yan. E di ako, nakakuha na kasi ako eventually ng driver's license. E di medyo confident ako mag-drive. E di, nung palabas ng garahe, may poste kasi sa gilid.
Kaya may scotch tape dun sa tayo.
Ayun. Medyo
Namatay na.
okay, medyo confident kasi ako, mag-drive. E di ina-atras ko na yung kotse. Biglang tumama yung side mirror dun sa poste. Ayun. So, may part ng Innova na
Uy.
may scotch tape. Dahil sa akin.
Pero hindi nagalit si Papa.
Pero hindi na pinansin ni Papa.
Yun pala yun.
Hindi na niya.
Now we know.
Ba't galit si Sherwin eh? Nahanap mo yung dahilan ba't may scotch tape dun, di ba?
So, ayun. So, ayun. Mamimiss ko si Papa. Meron yung, naalala ko yung mga time na nagpupuyat ako during pandemic, nagpupuyat ako hanggang mga 2-3 AM. Tapos may maririnig akong may sumisigaw dun sa kabila. Nanonood ng tennis si Papa. At yung mga pamahiin na, meron yung mga pamahiin na bawal daw magdala ng pagkain from damay. Kasi pakasundan ka daw.
Thank you sa pagkakataon.
I'm kind of hoping na makita or maramdaman ko lang man kapupuli si Papa. Ayun. Last Tuesday pa, he left us. Pero all of us died.
Sige.
Mahal ka din daw niyan, Alex. So, Cesar Onosa? Wala ka pa? Kung saan ka man? Okay, so since wala pa si Cesar, nagtatago pa rin siya. May commercial tayo.
Hindi mo
Classmates namin si
Hindi mo
Christopher Hugo.
announce yung presence ni Chris.
Oo nga. Christopher Hugo.
Tell everybody yung gusto.
So, gusto mo ba mag-speech? So, nalaman niya na meron pwede mag-share, kaya binili siya ni Christopher Hugo, classmate namin nung high school, para mag-share. Okay. So, ang next natin na sharer si another commercial.
Brought to you by.
Brought to you by the Philippine Army. Alright, thank you. So si Cesar siguro pa-message siya kasi siya yung next. Pero while waiting for him, we'll be calling over our bunso, baby boy, Arnold Lopez, to share with us.
Birth certificate.
Yung weather, sorry. Singit ko lang, weather forecast tomorrow, it might be raining. More than 50%, mga 53 or mga 55% yata chances of raining tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 12. So bring your kapote tsaka umbrella for the period. So anyway, kanina, I'll speak na lang without the mic. I'll speak louder na lang. Kanina, ginulat ako ng mga kapatid ko, being the youngest, ginulat ako na I have to speak out tonight. Parang I tried to resist talking. Pero I think, and then I stepped out of the room. I went to the car, then sat there by myself. It was a good exercise for me because from the time I was there, when I was at the hospital, parang ang bilis ng mga pangyayari. Then right after his death, usap kami ni Kat sa gagawin natin, inayos namin yung chapel, kailangan pala ng death certificate. So we have to go to yung sa hospital again, sa local civil registrar. It was so busy. Tapos pagdating ng Thursday, ilalabas na si Papa, i-display na siya dito. And then visitors started coming. Then I have to go to Manila to pick up Uncle Oscar, Heidi, and then have to manage yung bahay sa Manila because that's where we live. And then parang ang bilis. And then pagdating dito, ang dami nilang tutulong dito. And then I think yung when they asked me to talk about tonight, parang it gave me the opportunity to really reflect what happened, where we are, and about si Papa. And then ang dami. And of course, parang over the course of mga ilang years na we've been struggling to take care of Mama, Papa for the last 4 or 5 years. I think there were some snapshots of yung mga learnings, of yung stories about Papa, and that's what I tried to recall. And in recalling them, I tried to think of 3 things. Na parang what are the 3 things that I can think of that I can share tonight? So, number 1, hindi pa number 1 yan. Parang I got to think of 10 things na mga stories about Papa that I can think of. And then, thinking about those 10 things I can, na pwede kong i-share, parang it always comes with some learnings na from time to time, even way before after graduating from college, na I try to parang think na if I were in Papa Romeo's shoes, what would I do? What would he say? Yung mga ganon. So, yung anecdotes na lang muna, chismis. Mahilig si Papa sa chismis. Mahilig siyang makinig kay Deo Macalma. And siya yung sa buong family namin, si Cathy magaling mag-chismis, pero si Papa, naunahan na si Cathy malaman kung sino yung tatay ng anak ni Chris Aquino, sa unang baby ni Chris Aquino. Siya yung nag-share. Alam mo ba, buntis si Chris Aquino. Buntis siya? Oo, buntis siya. Alam mo sino tatay. So anyway, yun. Tapos, yung isa sa mga, dahil sa kachismisan niya, isa sa mga paborito niyang kwento ay nagbabiyahe sila ni Mama minsan in their plane, tapos may katabi sa kanila na a black woman, ang description ni Papa, nagnisit, nga nagdakkel, naglugbag na babae. Ito'y katigid ko, so may malaking, hindi si Katsun. So there's a black stout woman who sat beside him. Bumulong si Papa kay Mama, sabi niya, in Ilocano, thinking that the girl is an American. So nag-Ilocano just in case, just to make sure that she would understand. Tignan mo yung nasa kaliwa ko, maitim na, ang taba pa. Sumagot yung katabi niya, kunam lano ang kumawatan ng tabag-bagam. Marunong pala mag-Ilocano yung black woman beside him. Then, yung tatay ko, he started opening the conversation. She told him that he was assigned here in the Philippines at the Northern Luzon. Before, I think she was a Lateran of, may parang sa Latter-day Saints. So before she was sent here in the Philippines, she had to learn the dialect. So she learned Ilocano. So yun si Papa. Next would be, ito random to, wala parang yung I didn't rank this on anecdotes. The next one would be, he's very, very thoughtful. Yung when we were, ako yung last na graduate sa amin from college. And then, siya yung lagi naghahanap ng paraan para we get together. One of the memorable na mga things that got us together was yung mga trips namin sa Bicol. We never thought na we'd be able to go to Bicol, buong family, sina Roger, sina Alvin, even Heidi, whenever she gets a chance to come home here, laging napupunta sa Bicol. It's very expensive to go there, not by plane, kahit na by car lang, parang sagot na yung gas, sagot na yung pagkain, everything, accommodations and everything. Not because mamasyal, pero it's for him to enjoy yung family niya and for us to get together. And I think yung band namin, I really felt na we bonded a lot more together, and that's the reason why we're closer now, because of those trips na si Papa yung asked us to organize. Thoughtfulness, parang another story that I really want to share was yung in-laws namin, yung auntie ni Ruth, there was this one time that she got very sick. I think she had a stroke. But I was studying then, so hindi ko siya masamahan. Nag-bus sila ni Mama at Papa papunta ng Bicol just to visit her, check on her. Nag-visit siya, hindi niya alam paano mag-commute pagdating sa Bicol, pero hindi niya alam, pagdating doon ng mga 5 o'clock, wala pa palang tricycle. So nandun sila, nag-aantay, they were waiting outside the terminal, waiting for a tricycle to arrive. And waiting, pumunta na naman sila sa mall, they went to the mall to buy some pasalubong, some donuts I think, or a cake, that they can bring sa bahay nila, nila Auntie Shalo. So they have to sit in front of the mall again, wait for the shop to open. And then, nung nag-open na, nag-tricycle na naman sila, papunta sa bahay nila, which is I think about 10-15 kilometers away from Legazpi. So ganun si Papa. And then dating sila ng around 4 or 5 a.m. Tapos bisita, in the afternoon, basta naman sila pabalik ng Manila. Nakakapagod, pero I think that's how Papa wants really to express yung appreciation niya for accommodating yung Lopez family dun sa Bicol, for taking care of me and Ruth and James at that time. And so yun. The next story that na lagi namang napag-uusapan is how he loves his beer. Of course, for the past several 10 years now or more, laging sinisita ni Mama si Papa na sa pag-inom niya. Na kuminsan, nandun lang siya sa bahay, na pagsasabihan ni Mama na umiinom ka na naman. So, si Papa, biglang magbubukas ng steel cabinet, andun yung beer niya. He'll hide it from Mama, tapos meron siyang plastic cup na hindi makikita yung laman, doon yung pinupor. Bibili siya ng beer, naka-basket na bayong, ayaw ng plastic kasi makikita ni Mama. Sorry, closing notes ko. And then there was this one time na pumunta kami sa wedding ng relatives namin sa Tanay, Rizal, kasama si Uncle Cesar. Pagdating namin sa reception, tinawag ako ni Papa, lalabas daw kami. Paglabas namin, bumili si Uncle Cesar ng beer, nag-inuman na dun sa tindahan. So paglabas ni Papa at ni Uncle Cesar dun sa pagbalik namin sa reception, masaya na silang dalawa. Kahit na hindi pa nasa-serve pagkain, solve na silang dalawa. So ganun si Papa. And I think there are several stories also natin na pagpapunta ng Lawag. Naalala ko nang sumama ko kay Papa minsan, papunta sa Lawag for a race, marathon yata. Gamit yung PMA bus. Nasa bus pa lang, meron na silang beer na iniinom papunta doon sa Lawag. So yun. And then, of course, yung chess, he really loves chess. Yung sa bus, ang mention ko kanina papunta Lawag, they set up yung cases ng beer, pinagpapatong-patong nila, tapos doon sila nagcha-chess habang nasa daan. So papagalitan nila yung driver ng bus pag mabilis kasi nasisira yung mga tao na natutumba. Tapos yung naalala ko, naglolokohan sila kuminsan sa sa mga ibang kalaro niya sa PMA. Ang pustahan nila isang truck ng beer. Kung sinong manalo, hindi ko alam kung nagbayad na si Papa ng utang niya. And then next would be yung love of his apo. Yung mga apo niya, parang nag-usap-usap nila ni Cats or yung mga kapatid ko. Pag tayo yan, napagalitan na tayo. Pero si Raymond kasi yan, mga apo kasi yan, okay lang sa kanila yan. Yung sa mga niya, yung nakwento naman ni Heidi kanina na they'll go out of their way, pupunta sila sa States to help Heidi take care yung sa mga anak ni Heidi. Pag may occasion, kunwari pag birthday nila River, nila Adam, nila Rebecca, kahit na matanda na siya, he'll really plan yung mag-travel na. He'll drive by himself they'll drive with Mama papunta ng Manila para lang makabisita. They'll spend kahit mga 30 minutes lang yung recital nila River or nila Moira. Pero mag-drive pa rin siya ng ilang hours para lang makapanood sila na they're doing the recital. Tapos they always, every time I call on Papa, hindi niya kinakamusta niya yung mga apo niya. Nakita mo ba si Moira? Kamusta si Adam? Kamusta si James? Lagi yung apo yung tinatanong niya. And then, ayun, nasabi na kanina, tulad ni Sherwin, corny siya. There was this one student of his sa law, na sabi niya, tatay mo si General Lopez, corny siya. Ang sabi niya, merong isang lesson on transportation law. Meron daw, normally they give the law lectures in cases. Meron daw tao, sumakay ng bus, ilabas niya yung arm niya, na aksidente, naputol yung braso. Ano yung lesson doon? Wala daw makasagot sa kanya. Ang lesson doon, sumakay kayo ng aircon bus para hindi nyo mailabas yung elbow nyo, hindi kayo ma-aksidente. So yan. Tapos, yung isa pang joke na I think, lagi niyang paulit-ulit na memorize na ng malamang. Ginagamit din ni Sherwin. Nung college daw siya, mataas yung grade sa line of 9. 69, 79, 59. So yun. Lagi, I'm sure marami na nakarinig niyan. Tapos yung, I think na another story na laging na lumalabas, even yung kwento niya, kwento ng ibang tao, parang he's a hard worker. Nagulat ako nung general na siya, staying in Fort Bonifacio, kinikwento niya na nilalakad niya dati from Guadalupe, yung sa EDSA, Guadalupe EDSA, all the way to Fort Bonifacio, somewhere near ang pagkakaintindi ko near the old hospital. Ang alam ko sa may malapit-lapit sa gate 2 ngayon, sa may Forbes, sa may McKinley Park. Ang kwento niya kasi, when he was assigned in Fort Bonifacio at that time, gumawa siya ng secretarial. Parang gusto niya matuto mag-type, gusto niya matuto mag-steno, mga ganun. So, officer na siya, gusto pa rin ng ganun na ng mga trabaho. And pag-uwi niya, gabi na, maglalakad pa siya pa uwi. And he's happy na nung kinikwento niya yun. He loves reading books. I thought he only loved reading mga novel books. Pero nakikita ko, meron siyang carpentry books, automotive and everything. Tapos manonood siya ng mga, yung sa YouTube niya, makikita mo kung paano, yun, again, yung pag-fold ng airplanes, paper airplanes. Tapos yung hard worker niya, yung remember ko when he was studying law, makikita mo talaga siya pag uwi ko ng bahay. Nandun lang siya sa room, isang room sa baba ng bahay. Basa lang siya ng basa. Matutulog na ako na doon, pero siya nagbabasa. May naalala ko, may biyahe kami papunta ng Manila with basta may gamit yung yung poster ng PMA. Hawak pa rin yung libro niya, nagbabasa pa rin siya. May biyahe siya, nasa jeep, yung military jeep na open, nagbabasa pa rin siya ng law book. So tapos nag-highlight siya, nag-note siya doon sa book. Tapos he loves music. Meron siyang Spotify, meron siyang mga CD, meron siyang mga USB, yung mga music collections niya. Nagpapabili siya ng speaker para maganda daw yung pagkikinig ng music. Tapos yun, yung mga music niya, parang it ranges from Tagalog na kundiman, classical music, instrumental music, si Yoyo Villame. He loves food. Ito yung very memorable sa akin kasi when he retired, every time we go home, kasama sina James, lagi siyang tatawa kung anong gusto niyong pagkain. Gusto niya maganito, gusto niya maganyan. Tapos, pagdating namin ng Saturday morning, siya yung namamalengke. Bibili siya ng meat, bibili siya ng pangdiluguan, bibili siya ng bibili siya ng mga pang-ihaw. Tapos siya magluluto. Siya yung prepare. He tried to do that until mga umuwi kami ng mga 2021, 2022. Siya pa rin yung namamalengke para sa kanila ni Mama. She cooks adobo, she cooks whatever that he thinks or what they can eat for yung meals nila throughout the week, throughout the month. Kasi wala silang kasama sa bahay. And he continued doing that until he told me na parang nahihirapan na ako. Mahirap na, so it started na sinasamahan ko siya sa pamamalengke hanggang ako rin namamalengke. So I try to go here every week para mamalengke sa kanya kasi meron siya mga request sa pagkain, hindi na niya mapalengke, hindi na niya maluto. We try to prepare that for him kami ni Cathy. And sometimes I think si Aaron then or Alex, may pagkain sila na prepare. And especially si Roger na magaling magluto. Tapos yung one thing na, yung sinasabi nila hindi very expressive si Papa. One of the things that he usually mentions to me, yung mga kapatid niya, he loves his siblings so much. Parang when there's may bagong balita, sinashare niya kaagad sa amin. Naalala ko, tingnan mo ito, pinadala ni Asyong. Ito kami magkakapatid, yung nasa Marabok kami. Tingnan mo ako, ako yung tatay ng mga magkakapatid. Sinasabi niya, sumasakit yung likod ni Uncle Oscar mo. Patanda na kasi. Si Tommy, nakausap ko kanina sa wakas, hindi sumasagot sa sa tawag ko, pero buti na lang sumama sa sa group call namin. Tapos magayan, punta tayo sa ganito, punta tayo sa Casal ni Paulo, punta tayo sa Pinyag dito, punta tayo sa Marabok. Kasi nandun si Piping, pupunta daw si Carol, pupunta daw sina Fred, mga ganun yung kwento niya. He's always looking for yung mga opportunities to reconnect with his relatives and everything. Tapos lagi siyang, kumisan nagsasabi siya parang, matagal ko na hindi nakakausap si Alice patawagan nga. Matatawag siya, or matagal na hindi tumatawag si Oscar, tawagan natin sa Sabado. So yun. Lastly, so parang I think yung in reflecting those kanina, yung top 10 learnings na I think I got from him over the years. Number 1 is, accept life as it is. I always hear him say na, anyang ay maramitan tayo, kasta talaga tipya. Pero there was this one time na parang hindi naman you don't need to be passive. Parang I think, parang meron minsan, huminto si Mama at Papa dun sa bahay. And tinuro niya yung serenity prayer. Parang to accept those things that you can change and accept those that you can change. Just to let it go na. Tapos there was this one matagal na to, I think, college ba yata ako nito. There was discussing something, walang kinalaman, about one of our siblings. Parang si Mama nagre-reklamo, bakit ganon, bakit ganyan? Ang sabi lang ni Papa, pabayaan mo na sila, matanda na sila, kaya na nila mag-decide. Ang sa atin lang, blessing sila ni God, and after some time, we really have to let them go para they can grow their own wings. Parang iba, hindi yun yung exact words pero I think yun yung message They need to let them go para they can grow their own wings. Ang role natin ngayon na matanda na sila is, just to make sure na ready tayong tumulong sa kanila, and pag hiningin nila yung tulong natin, tutulong tayo sa kanila. Parang it stuck me na yun yung isa sa mga lagi kong maalala na kapag kailangan namin ng something, true enough, nandyan si Papa na anong kailangan mo. Tapos kahit na hindi mo hiningi ko, minsan siya yung nag-o-offer. Live within your means. Parang, I think there's live within your means. Parang he is frugal. Makikita mo, pinagkakwentuhan namin, he loves his Robertson's shoes. Na 200 pesos at that time. Okay to, 200 pesos lang, parang ganyan. Pero kung kami humingi sa kanya, yung nag-aaral ako sa UP Diliman, I ask for things, hindi natanong bakit, wala ko mas mura, walang ganon. Binibigay niya. And you hear a lot of people saying na kailangan namin ng tulong, binibigyan niya ng pera, binibigyan niya ng computer, kasi kailangan nila sa pag-aaral nila. So ganon si Papa. Parang okay lang natin bilhin yung sarili niya, pero pagdating sa ibang tao, he's very willing to share. Lagi siyang nag-aaral. Even nung the last 2-3 years na lagi siyang nagkakasakit. Kwento niya sa akin, during the pandemic, nag-aaral siya ng chess. He got a book, pinag-aaralan niya yung mga books ng mga masters. Na pagdating sa tennis court, pag nag-chess na sila, dating tumatalo kay Papa, tinatalo na niya. So bilib na bilib sa kanya yung mga tao, hindi nila alam kung ginagawa niya. Sabi niya, wala naman, ito lang, kaya, wala naman din ako practice, wala akong kalaro parang gano'n. Pero yung sa tennis niya, gano'n din, YouTube, may kita mo nanonood siya ng tennis, tinitingnan niyo kung paano yung tamang form in playing tennis. Tapos kaya siya lagi nasa labas ng bahay, pinapractice niya yung napapanood niya. And then sabi niya, pagbalik niya after the pandemic, nag-start yung maglaro ulit. He started beating yung mga kalaban niya, and he feels na he is improved. In fact, he requested James and Aaron yata to video him, to compare yung form niya versus kung ano yung napapanood niya sa YouTube. Hindi ko alam kung nagawa niya. Number 4 is live healthy. Tapos number 5, dito I think this one I witnessed na nung bata pa lang ako. Respect all people regardless of rank, position, or status in life. Naalala ko nung bata ako minsan, naglalakad ako. May kita may mga tao na very happy sila na nakikita si Papa na nakikipagkwentuhan. And then may kita mo na yung mga driver, ginigilit si Papa, yung mga secretary, even na janitress na alala ko sa PMA, nagmamap sila, kamusta sir, mga ganyan. Tapos may smile eh. And then later on, nung college na ako, I get to meet some yung mga people na naka-retired na, parang ganyan. I remember this person saying na, I think si Sergeant Mateo yung nagkwento eh. Kasi yung wife ni Sergeant Mateo, co-teacher ni Mama sa North. Ang nasabi niya sa akin, mahal na mahal si Papa ninyo ng mga sundalo sa PMA. Kasi kahit na sundalo lang kami, konti lang yung mga sundalo na nagsasalute back sa amin. Pag darating sa gate, sasaludo ka. Yung mga opisyal dyan, lalagpasan ka lang. Si Papa mo magsasaludo na ganyan, nakangiti. Kung minsan hihinto, oh, kamusta na? O yung anak mo, balita ko, nagkasakit. May kailangan ka pa ba? O sige, sabihin mo lang kung may kailangan ka. Ganun si Papa. And I think that's one of the reasons why nung pag-retire niya, yung mga tao na kasama niya sa PMA, they parang very comfortable silang lumapit kay Papa para humingi ng tulong. Kasi ganun si Papa din, very welcoming. Ayun. Tapos yung ito pa yung lagi ko napapahingan sa kanya, anchor your happiness in what really matters. Parang sinasabi yung nag-usap sila ni Mama na lulukoy ni Mama si Papa, oh, Romeo, yung kapitbahay natin may bagong kotse. Pabayang daita, sabihin niya. Bakit? Makikita ba nila kung anong kotse ko pag mamamatay na ako? Hindi naman eh, sabihin niya. Tapos yung para sa kanya, sinasabi niya na even way before the pandemic, parang I think it's his way of preparing us. Sinasabi niya, I'm happy, I'm contented, ready na ako. Tignan mo, okay na yung mga anak natin, nag-graduate sila, they're established na. Yung may sarili ng mga buhay, yung mga apo nila, yung mga apo natin, okay na sila. Tapos, tingnan mo, meron tayong kaibigan at wala tayong kaaway. Alam mo bakit wala tayong kaaway? Kasi patay na silang lahat. So yun yung niya. Pero I think yun yung philosophy niya. Yun yung basis niya ng happiness. It's about yung important talaga. Yung pera hindi mo na madadala yan sa afterlife. Yun. Tapos I think yung do not let others judge you by what you have. Again, the same with yung car na sinasabi na, papaya, yung bagong kotse, hindi ko nang madadala yan later on eh. Tapos, yan. Tapos parang I think yung isa pang hirit ni Papa kapag magtatanong na, Sir, palitan natin yung kotse mo. Ito nga si Colonel ganito, ito yung kotse, ikaw kaya mo lang ganito. Ang sasabihin ni Papa apay, numatayak, isuda ti magibaga no mapanakijay heaven. Pag dinidiscuss niya yung mga kotse niya, bakit pakialam nila sa pananamit ko, pakialam nila sa dinadrive kong kotse. Hindi naman yun yung mag-measure sa akin eventually. Iyon. I think yun yung for me, yung impact ni Papa for me.
Right. Bagsak pala kay baby boy Arnold Lopez. Bunso namin yan. Kanina nabanggit ni Katz at saka inulit din yata ni Andres Cesar. I was just mentioning Katz na you said about yung us being sad, yung when we cry, it's not really for yung our dearly beloved na si Papa Romeo, but for us, yung memories kasi natin. I have a different version of that. Napakinggan natin si Father na, yung novena masses kasi, yun yung specific request ni Mama. Nung the moment na si Papa nauna na, ang request ni Mama is novena starting tonight, which was Tuesday night. At saka yung Mass. One of the Masses, sinabi ng Father, sabi ng pare, mag-practice tayo, yung mga nag-attend ng Mass, mag-practice tayo habang nandito tayo sa mundo, sabi niya. Kasi pag nag-practice tayo mag-love, mag-share dito sa mundo, pasado ka kagad, diretso ka agad sa langit. And hearing each one of you tonight, I think si Papa Romeo, diretso yan sa langit. Okay?
Agree.
O yan na. Okay? And the other part of it is tayo na naiwan. Let's not be too sad. Kasi tulad din ng sinabi nung pare kanina, it's just a temporary na goodbye. For those who believe, ako I believe, na he's in a better place now. At tayo, kapag na-touch tayo ng ginawa in one way or another ni Papa Romeo, then matuto tayo and let's try to emulate kung ano yung ginawa ni Papa Romeo. Let's practice as well para magkikita-kita tayo. In other words, sana wag tayo malungkot. But instead, let's celebrate his life as we have heard yung anecdotes, stories na we heard tonight. So siguro with that, unless si Katz would like to have final word, siguro si Mama is sleeping, so medyo pagod siya. So I think we have decided na to forgo yung gusto sana namin magsalita siya for a few words, pero we'd rather na she rest na lang. So,
magsasalita ka
over
lang,
to you.
Sandali lang. Sandali lang.
Hi.
Hello. For the past 2-3 years, we've been beset with health problems of Mama and Papa. Sa mga sakit nila, mapapagastos ka talaga. But we never felt any need to loan, to borrow money because we were always blessed.
Hindi tayo nagtinda ng kidney, ano?
Hindi kami nagtinda ng kidney para lang matustusan yung treatment nila Mama at Papa. We were blessed with relatives and friends na talagang kung hindi man monetary at ang lalaki promise. Bigla na may darating sa clinic, bigla na may magte-text na they sent this amount and that amount doon sa account namin. Hindi kami nahirapan na i-tide over yung aming mga problema because of the help of so many people. Ito yung classic example ng God will provide. Everybody is very well appreciated. Even the smallest of yung mga discounts namin sa gamot, yung mga libreng samples namin, yung mga kamag-anak, special mention to. Ayaw na nila magpabanggit. Special mention to our relatives. Yung prayers ng everybody, they were all very helpful sa aming pagtawid or pagdala nitong mga problema na dinadaanan namin. We are very blessed to have relatives and friends who have helped us in so many ways, little or small, para matulungan kami because this is not an easy experience. But we have been blessed and we are more than blessed. And according to Papa, we have to be grateful for everything, big or small, sa mga tumutulong sa amin. So, I would like to thank everybody. Everybody in this room have helped us so much. Prayers, financial help, and the emotional help. If you only know kung gaano ko iyak ng iyak ko, ilang truck na nang iyak ko, mula ng 3 taon na nangyayari ito. Caring pa rin dahil sa mga tulong ninyo. So, I'm so helpful to my siblings. I never had to ask money for them. From them, ang tanging contribution ko lang is talent portion. Sila yung iba na. So ako, chika dito, chika dan, makaka-discount na ako, etc. So, pati yung mga pag-rant ko, meron yung biglang iiyak na lang ako sa coffee shop, tapos magtatawag ako ng mga kasama kong umiiyak, andyan sila. So thank you for everything, emotional, financial, spiritual, and help. And we will never forget your help. For Papa, I know you did all of this because you love us, and you love our family, and you love Papa. Thank you very much. Sure.